Let's talk about how computers actually connect. How do these computers actually be able to see each other on a network and be able to communicate and everything? Let's say you only have two computers and I want to share information between these two computers. What will I do? All that I'll do is I'll come and get an Ethernet cable and connect on one side and connect it on the other computer, and then give them both IP addresses. And after I give them both IP addresses, then I'll be able to share information between these two computers because they're literally on the same network. It's like giving them IP addresses, like saying, oh, yo, you guys are literally in the same room right now. You guys can start talking, okay? So if I only have two computers, all I have to do is connect them using an Ethernet cable and give them IP addresses, and now they'll be able to start communicating on the network. But let's say now I add more computers. I come ahead and get more computers on my network, and I need them to be able to communicate. How am I going to do this? It's not like I'm going to get Ethernet cables and start running from one computer to another, to another, to another. Like, that is so crazy. So, what I'll do is I'll get a device, I'll get another device that I can enable these computers to plug into with their Ethernet cables so that they can all know that they're in the same room and be able to communicate. So I'll get a device that looks like this. It has different ports in the back, and the computers now will be able to connect to that device with the Ethernet cable. So I'll have them come in and connect like this. So that cable will connect there and connect to another computer and be able to speak. So anyway, I'm jumping in front of the gun right now. Back in the days, we used to have something called a hub. It looked just exactly something like that with different ports in the back, and it was able to allow computers to connect to it and be able to send information to different computers. But the bad thing about the hub was the hub used to broadcast. Like, you know what broadcasting is? It's sending messages to a lot of computers at the same time. So let's say I have my hub right here. I'm just gonna draw something there, and all these computers. So these are the ports right here. Let's say something like that. And then I have all these computers connecting to my hub. All these computers are connecting to my hub like this. They're definitely going to different ports. It's just that can't really draw right now. Anyway, so all of them connecting to the hub like that. If let's say this computer up here wants to send information to another computer down here, the way it used to be, it would send that information, but the hub would broadcast, like it would send the same information to that computer, to this other computer, to this computer down here, and this other computer right here. And when it sends that information to all those computers, that's called broadcasting. So broadcasting. Okay? So it would send information to all the computers on the same network at the same time. And that caused issues because let's say I'm a hacker. If I just come and connect to the hub, so if that hub is like right there, with all those ports there, and all the other computers have connected to it, um, if I'm a hacker and I just come and connect my computer right here, then if the hub broadcasts to every computer on the network, if it broadcasts whatever a computer is sending on the network, if it broadcasts it to all the other computers on the network, then I'm able to get that information, and I'm able to get this information that I'm not supposed to get. So there was a vulnerability over there, and the engineers came up with something else, something way smarter. It's called a switch. A switch is just like a hub, but the thing about a switch, it's way smarter. So what a switch does is, I'm gonna connect all these computers to the switch. Give me 1 second. So what a switch does is, let's say this computer PC4 is trying to send information to PC2 up here. What a switch would do is, instead of forwarding it, instead of broadcasting that message to all the computers on the network and telling them, oh, your PC4 is trying to send information to 2, PC4 has sent this information. By the way, if you think of a broadcast, it's like when you're on WhatsApp or on email and you're sending emails to a bunch of people, like all of them at once. If you want to send it to only one person, you'd want to send it to only one person. You don't want to send it to everyone. On WhatsApp, you're probably sending a group message instead of sending it to as a direct message to one person. So a hub did that. It used to send a broadcast, but a switch is smart. It directs that information to the specific computer that you're trying to send to. And a switch uses a protocol. We'll learn more about protocols later, but a switch uses a protocol called Address Resolution Protocol. In short, it's called ARP. It uses this protocol to be able to share information to all this other, like to the specific computer that you're trying to send that information to. And that protocol, if you dig deeper into it, it uses the MAC address to be able to communicate. The MAC address, if you remember, the MAC address is the unique number that was put by the developer by the manufacturer, sorry, in on the network interface card that is used to communicate on the network. Okay, so the switch uses ARP, and ARP is smart enough to look at the MAC address of PC4 as it's sending information. It looks at that MAC address, and then it's like, okay, so where are you sending this information to? And it knows the MAC address of PC2, so it would send that information from PC4 to PC2. Let me use a better example over here. I'll show you what I mean. So PC1 is connected to switch port 1, PC2 is connected to switch port 5. So as PC1 is sending information, the switch would read the MAC address. The switch would read the MAC address of PC1 and to say source MAC address that AAAA, and then the destination MAC address is that, and then it would forward that traffic using the MAC address to the other PC, which is PC2 in this instance. And this kind of sending information, this is called unicast. Unicast is sending information from one computer to another computer directly. And then broadcast is sending information to a lot of computers at once.